It's a scary, confusing time to be alive. We're getting updates pretty much by the minute concerning COVID-19, the virus causing a global pandemic. Social distancing has been encouraged, many folks have been told to self-quarantine, travel's become a total nightmare, schools have closed, non-essential businesses have ceased, normal life has more or less stopped. On top of all this, the virus itself has an incubation period of around 14 days, meaning that you could potentially go 2 weeks without even knowing you had it due to lack of symptoms. All of this chaos and confusion has left a lot of people with a very big question. How do you know if you actually have the coronavirus? I know we like to goof around on Life's Biggest Questions, but today I'll do my best to give you the facts and only the facts, the information you need to know. So buckle up, pay attention, and be the calm, cool, collected person you know you truly are. The first thing you need to do to find out if you've been infected by COVID-19 is figure out if you need to be tested. Right now, tests are limited and demand is high, so only the folks with the most serious need should be taken in for testing. Folks showing symptoms like fever, coughing, or difficulty breathing should be considered higher priority. Add this to the individual having traveled to an impacted area within the last 14 days or having close contact with a confirmed or probable case of COVID-19. At this point, any form of travel is likely to have put someone in a place where COVID-19 has been detected. If you or anyone you know has exhibited these symptoms or meets the requirements of travel or close contact, please contact your family doctor or local public health department on the phone to figure out the next steps. Only go to a hospital if it's an emergency. They have enough going on at the moment. If your doctor or public health office says you need to be tested, you will be sent to a testing center. You will be given a nasopharyngeal and/or throat swab and have your specimen taken to a lab. This test involves a nurse or doctor taking a long, flexible swab and pushing it to the back of your nasal cavity. They then twist it around to collect cells and seal it away in a tube. It's an odd sensation having a swab at the back of your nose, but it doesn't hurt. The reason they have to get all the way back there is that the virus lives in the lining at the back of your nose and down the back of your throat. Once your test is sent off to a lab, there's not much else to do besides wait for results. Depending on where you are, this could take some time. While you wait, it's advisable for you to put yourself into self-isolation and/or quarantine to ensure the virus does not spread further. Once the results are in, you'll be contacted by whoever administered the test with next steps. Now, the symptoms of COVID-19 are very similar to that of the regular seasonal flu, so it's difficult to tell them apart. Unfortunately, many respiratory infections are similar, so the only way to know for sure is to do a lab test. If you're showing symptoms but haven't been abroad or near anyone who tested positive, it's possible and even likely that you do not have COVID-19. So again, please contact your family doctor or local public health office to be screened for testing. If you got your test results back and you've tested positive, there are steps you need to take. First of all, don't panic. Most folks who have tested positive only have mild illness from COVID-19. Often people will be sent home and have to do self-isolation. If this is the case, stay in touch with your public health department. Get advice from them and arrange for further testing so you can find out when it's safe for you to end your quarantine. If it's a more serious case, you should be taken care of at a hospital. Right now, these tests are not super widely available, so please don't try to get tested unless you are exhibiting serious symptoms or have fallen under the criteria listed earlier. If you are not vulnerable or immunocompromised, think twice before heading out to request a test as well. There are people in need of immediate testing waiting for their chance. This virus spreads through close personal contact like touching or shaking hands, so avoid doing either of these things if you're out and about. Contact with nose and throat secretions from coughing and sneezing will spread it as well, so please wear a mask and make sure to cover your mouth and nose whenever necessary. Keep surfaces clean, as an object or surface with a virus on it can spread it to people who touch that surface. And of course, wash your hands often, as touching your mouth, nose, or eyes with unwashed hands can lead to the virus transfer as well. So to summarize, you can only really know if you have the virus if you get tested. You should only get tested if you meet the specific criteria. If you are not at a high risk of being severely adversely affected by COVID-19, please consider staying home to flatten the curve. Be careful out there, everyone. Practice social distancing. Don't get too close to anyone unless totally necessary. Self-isolate to protect yourself and others, and self-quarantine if you show symptoms of the virus. Wash your hands often and bathe. It feels good and keeps your body free from potential harm. Cutting down on the stink helps too. Send your thanks and support to all the frontline workers dealing with the consequences of this virus night and day. We couldn't do this without them. And lastly, don't do anything reckless. Use common sense and encourage your friends and family to do the same. We here at Life's Biggest Questions want you to all stay safe, happy, and healthy. So keep an eye out for new developments and do your best to keep this virus at bay. Before we wrap up, make sure to give this video a big thumbs up and subscribe for more topical questions. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.